I think we need a whole different power base in this country, don't we? Because the power... King Charles needs to go, unfortunately, people. Yes, Jay Brown, James, Josie, Lisa saying back to the basics, Morgan saying a reset, Megan Chester, Amanda, Demi, JP, they've got it that this country, there's no real resistant movement. There's no one really like the IRA or the UVF. They were like, they were basically the last line of resistance that you're ever going to see against the monarchy or the power base in this country. It was them two resistant groups. Unfortunately, not everyone's caught up in a mess over here now. It's too much division. I keep on looking at that Cook place in Ireland, the Cookworth at the moment, is that what it's called? Getting persecuted by NATO and its powers. And you just know, before all this, half of them kids who were standing side by side there with each other, possibly dealing drugs against each other, shooting at each other, hurting each other, have realised that they can't get anything done if they're killing each other. So when you're seeing the videos of that place, Cookworth in Ireland, and you're seeing everyone in that area standing side by side, you've got kids on their surrounds, them kids on their surrounds, them kids from that far side of Cooksworth, kids from that side far, normally arguing with each other. They're all there, ready to stand the ground, unified. Look at Liverpool. Look at Liverpool, mate. You go from Anfield to Highton, and that's it, someone's getting murdered. Do you understand what I'm saying? The football doesn't divide in Ireland like it does in England. So the Everton and Liverpool division there doesn't exist in places like Cooksworth. So imagine Liverpool being able to do what they're doing, mates. Imagine how much of the country you would gain. Liverpool's pivotal in this country. That's why they come to it every time they want to get in power. We all know how important Liverpool is, especially if you're a Scouser. If you're an old school Scouse and you've delved into this sort, you know straight away where Liverpool is positioned globally and nationally on the map. Makes it very, very pivotal in everything that goes on in this side of the world. And we're just not getting used yet. I guarantee you though, once London's run into the ground, they'll jump to Liverpool and make that its power base again. Do you know Liverpool was the only city in this country that its own in the UK that had its own currency, which challenged the sterling currency of the monarchy? Liverpool had its own currency, people, had its own bank, the Bank of Liverpool. Guess who shut it all down? Guess who just shut everything that was happening in Liverpool? Liverpool was one of the most powerfulest places in the whole world. Guess who shut it down? London. Number 10. Thatcher. All them horrible, highly educated rats from London. And that's basically what you're dealing with. Highly educated rats from London. Doesn't matter if you get a few dickheads from up north who's gone into one of the shittest universities up the north of England. Even just that, if you get your degree in a university up the north of England, but you get your one in one down London, guess what? You're looked at a lot better if you got it down London. There's always that divide. Need to just throw a border right through Birmingham. Lock it all off. You stay down there. Stop sending your up here. No one wants to go up north. You're sending them up here. They all want to be down south, down London. That. Keep them down there. Don't bang them on coaches and flood Hull and in North Wales with people that don't want to be there. Every foreign immigrant that comes into this country, they don't want to go to Liverpool. They don't want to go to Manchester. Do you understand what I'm saying? They all head to London and then they put on coaches and put on sweatboxes and sent up north. Why? Because it's cheaper to house them. It's cheaper to feed them. It's cheaper to locate them and school them. It's always been the case up north. You can get a pint for £1.20 in Liverpool. The same pint can cost you £6.50 in London. You can get a one bedroom flat in Hull for £375 a month. The same accommodation in London is costing you £2,000. In their mind, it makes sense to house 5 immigrants in Hull instead of 1 immigrant in London. And this is what they've done for years. In the coach loads, sent them up north because it's cheaper for them. So yeah, you're hearing all this 8 billion a day to house them in hotels. It won't be long before that 8 million a day is getting spent on housing rent up north, not down south. With 8 million hotels, let's just have a little think. If you've got 8 million a day to spend on immigrant housing, let's say they have, because they're doing it, and you could spend 8 million in London and only get 2,000 rooms, or you can spend 8 million in Hull and get 15,000 rooms. What are you going to do? Exactly. And that's exactly what they've done. Just absolutely saturated the north with immigration. And nothing to help them integrate. Nothing to help them to get into the way we live and the values of life that we participate in. That's why you're getting cultures who believe it's okay to harass your 13-year-old girl. Isn't it? You know, you've got exactly the same type of person, wherever they're from in the East, it doesn't matter. You know, their value is 13 or whatever is okay. They believe in Islam. They believe that wholeheartedly, that mindset. He will preach exactly the same as that one that lives in Birmingham. The one in Birmingham, British born, will never in his own mind go near a 13-year-old girl because that's the way he's raised in Britain. And I'd say 90% of British born Muslims would not go near a child. Just like 90% of English Caucasian people would not go near a child. But within every community, there's that 10% of mad, dirty rats. Isn't there? So you can't really, and this is what you're seeing now, it's a clash of cultures. And even Muslim brothers who are born and bred can't educate these fellas. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know, if you've been like that since a kid, you can't change that psyche. Especially if it's being legitimised in where he's born and bred. You can't just knock that shite out of him, it's there for the remainder. You know, the kids, you know, if you were bringing all the women and kids from these places instead of grown men. You know, women and kids, you get the women and kids in, you get the kids into the schooling system, the curriculum system. They're growing up knowing this is wrong, that's right, this is wrong, that's right, this is wrong, that's right. It's a different set of values for them, isn't it? But they're not bringing these young kids in to integrate. So look, if you want to prevent racism, if you want to prevent discrimination, if you want to prevent all that divides us from an early age, the best way to combat that is by putting every type of child, regardless of religion, culture, skin colour, anything, in the same room, in the same country, have them growing up together, have them engaging from the get-go, Don't have them segregated into different groups because this is Muslim group and this is Christian group and this is for that one that thinks he's gay and this is there and this and there. You put them all in the same pot and let them get to know each other from an early age. So if you want people from the Middle East to integrate into this country and any other country in the Western world, you should be targeting the children and bringing the children in, making the children safe with the mothers and the sisters and letting them integrate that way instead of bringing 10,000 40-year-old men who are already damaged. You can't change the psyche. It's done. And that's the simple way. The only way you're going to be able to prevent our kids going through what we're witnessing now, discrimination, racism, homosexuality, all this nonsense, is by flooding play areas with every type of kid and letting them grow. You got Scouse Power saying they're the soldiers, does. Doesn't matter if they're the soldiers or not. There's what you can do about it. Get used to it. Doesn't matter how the dynamics go on this land. Doesn't matter if they push soldiers on your feet, on the streets, mate. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Follow Tommy Robinson? Is that what you're going to do? That's what I'm saying, lad. That's all you can do about what they're implementing. Nothing. Why? Because you're all divided. If you're not divided over drug dealing, you're divided over football. If you're not divided over football, you're divided over colour. If you're not divided over colour, you're divided over religion. If you're not divided over any of them, you're divided over your financial level in society. And that's it. There's no unity there at all. There's unity in pockets. But when it comes to huge numbers, there's no unity in any city. Oh yeah, we're all Scousers, we all stand together. Yeah, if you're a Liverpool fan. Oh, we're all Scousers, we'll stand together. Yeah, if you're not black. Oh, we're all Scousers, we'll stand together. Yeah, if you're not a Muslim. She's full of it. Sick to death of hearing it. Yeah, we're one, and when we get into a hard time, we all stand together. No, we don't, mate. All these daft politicians. Liverpool's got the resolutions. Liverpool's got the durability. Liverpool has a one. Liverpool work with it. No, we don't, you soft blind bastards. We're killing each other on a daily basis. What the f*** you on about Liverpool's unified? Do you understand what I'm saying to these people? So, you know, whatever they're going to do, and there's all you can do about it until you start getting a set of cold-blooded killers willing to sacrifice themselves for everyone else. And you just not got them, because they're all in jail. The ones that are cold-blooded killers and not in jail, they're already out and away in Europe, being positioned in different parts of the world, when they should be on our shores protecting us from this foreign invasion. The powers that be have deliberately got them out. So when we do go to where we're going, if it's that where we're going to, all our soldiers, all our boys, all our homegrown military lads, they can't do shit. They're going to have to sit in Cyprus. They're going to have to sit in Iraq. They're going to have to sit in Syria and just watch their own people be destroyed because they can't get back in by boat, they can't get back in by plane, and they're under strict orders to stay exactly where they are or they'll go to prison. And while they're stuck over there doing NATO's jobs, NATO soldiers are on our ground doing us. At the moment, up and down the country, they disguise the security guards. If you weren't aware of that. At the moment, up and down the country, every shop that you're seeing with security men on with a false accent and a different colour skin, guess what they are? Not all of them do it in a twist. When you're seeing these articulate, educated security men all of a sudden appearing in your area with a bit more authority than the usual dickhead down there, that's who they are. That's what they are. That's them getting to know the areas, getting to know the footfall, the streets, getting on the ground, like guerrilla warfare type thing. What you're seeing right now with Iran and Hezbollah attacking Israel, like you've seen in Tel Aviv before, a few hours ago, gunmen going around, that's guerrilla warfare. This is next level. And that's why Israel cannot defeat Hezbollah, because they haven't got a clue about guerrilla warfare. And that's what they do. They put feet on the ground, source intelligence, get to know the layouts, get to know the powerful people who are dangerous, who's not, and then they move in. They can identify the criminals already who's got access to catches of firearms, and they'll be first to be shut down. You know who they are already, probably dealing with them, probably sitting there like Albanians, knowing exactly who's who in the crime world, just waiting to shut them all down. Half of them will be doing the work for them. Obviously, take this with a pinch of salt. Don't start getting worried, because there's all you can do about it. So don't get worried about it. But just have an open mind about what's coming, and protect you and your kids. And if you've got neighbours next door where children are being harmed or neglected, protect them. Not talk hard, be screaming at you. Protect your women and children, because that's what they're coming for. All these men without women, give them 2 years, they want a woman. The agenda is a fully mixed race European continent. There's a reason they're not sending thousands of women into a country with millions of men in it. What would happen? If you send thousands of women into a country with millions of men, what's going to happen with them women? Right, they're going to do what every woman does: give birth to them million men, whoever they are. If you've got a country with 10 million women and you send 10,000 men, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Women are going to give birth, regardless. Doesn't matter, especially the way the women are in the West. They'll f anything. And this is what you're witnessing already. The birth that f anything. They're already dating immigrants. Already sleeping with them. Fuck the diseases that they're spreading with them. They're already doing it. That may have been why they've been devaluing the Western woman the way they have been for the past 20 years. Purposely wanting you to fornicate, purposely wanting you to have your breasts on show, purposely wanting you to run round like you're prostitutes. Making you loose, taking you away from the mindset of one man, one life, one relationship. You can who you want when you want to who you want, white girl. That's how it is, whether you like that or not. That's why you have your horrible Hollywood stars encouraging you to bang man after man after man after man, like your Kim Kardashians, like your Jordans, like all these horrible dirty glamour models, your Danielle Lloyds, influencing your teenage girls to be slappers. Easily got. Yeah, these immigrant lads, they come over here looking like shit. But just like your son when he's a pothead that looks like shit, you send him in a shop, he comes back out looking fantastic, doesn't he? You bang an immigrant in the shop, send him back out, he looks like your son in an instant. Same clothes, same trainee, same man bag, same haircut. What's going to stop your daughter? It's a mirror image of every Western man she's ever seen. What's going to stop her? That's the real agenda here. making a European person. They want us all European in the West. They want everyone born in the next 20 years of mixed race. They don't want any secretarial identifications. They don't want that English crowd. They don't want that Scottish crowd. They don't want that Welsh crowd. They don't want that Irish crowd. And they definitely don't want you all white. So these men that are coming in are going to dilute the Caucasian race again, like they have been for 20 years. It's not being racist, it's an observation. If you've got a pool of people that are all white, and then all of a sudden you've got people of a different colour picking birds out of this pool and getting them pregnant and then sending them back in the pool, that pool of whiteness eventually is going to go grey. If it continues, eventually it's going to go blacker and blacker and blacker. Isn't it? Natural. Vice versa. If you had a pool of Asian people or a pool of black people and you had the dominant white Caucasian people penetrating them two groups, eventually them two groups would become majority Caucasian, wouldn't they? And this is what's going on right before your eyes and you don't realise it. That's why when you go into your town centre, you will see that white woman with every breed of man colour on this planet. Won't you? But you won't see a white man with every breed of woman on this planet breeding with them, will you? You'll see every man on the planet breeding with our Caucasian women. But you won't see our Caucasian men breeding with all them different breeds of women on huge numbers the way you are seeing with the white Caucasian woman getting bred with on huge numbers. And eventually, you can't stop it. And you get people of mixed race or biracial, being born biracial. What do I mean by biracial? Your mum's white, your dad's brown, or your dad's brown, your mum's white. You're vice versa. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they keep on screaming about us, not them, but certain individuals keep on thinking about a race card, hating on Caucasian people. And you'll have biracial people hating on Caucasian people because Caucasian people are racist. And when that biracial person's screaming that, they're part of the problem, aren't they? Because the whole thing about white power and white supremacy is having one pure white race. The fact that biracial kid is not claiming that white race makes that white race purer, doesn't it? So everything he's screaming about, this, he's making it more so for not embracing his Caucasian heritage. And years and years and years ago, that was a thing that happened on purpose, deliberately done. If a man or a woman had a baby to someone that wasn't white, that baby was kicked out of the community. Do you understand? Now you've got these kids deliberately disowning it, making it more pure and white, instead of like letting the dilution be known. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this isn't racist, people. This is just how it is. You know, this is me observing. I'm just like any other person sat on a social media platform out there speaking about anything. It's just an observation, not asked about any of it, to be honest. I couldn't give a if we all end up mixed race in 20 years. I don't care. Do you understand what I'm saying? You cannot stop it. The only way you can stop it, the only way to keep your Caucasian people strong is every man out there, start every woman you can, regardless of colour or religion. You know, don't be scared to go near that Asian woman because she's beautiful, mate. Just because she's a Muslim or she doesn't think the same doesn't mean you can't try and bang it. You know, look at all them men, they try and bang our birds. Some are successful, some aren't. Don't be scared to try and bang their birds and try and get them pregnant. Doesn't matter where they are in the world, get them pregnant, spread your seed, keep us relevant for hundreds and hundreds of years. Yeah, the governments and the NATO and the European politics, they don't want us breeding. That's why they put caps on your benefit system to discourage you from breeding. They're alright if you're a colour. All around the world, just breed like ants, all you. Doesn't matter where you are, you continue breeding. But if you're white, we discourage you from breeding. Get out there. Get out there, bang what you can, where you can, and get them pregnant, mate. Just make sure they're old enough. You know, if you're 40, make sure that girl's 21 and up. You know, if you're 18, make sure that girl's 16 up. You know, the dance people, you know what we like in our British values, don't you? But just get out there, the fellas. What's up with you? Don't be. There's some beautiful. I've been all over the country, mate, and I can see lovely girls when I see them. And skin colour's irrelevant, brothers. Skin colour is irrelevant. When you look at women who are beautiful, the colour doesn't even come into it. In fact, the colour makes it more beautiful. Honest to God, the colour makes them more... Just get out there if you can. Especially if you haven't got a bird. You know, if you're not committed to your lovely Caucasian white bird or whatever there, just get out there, start smashing, kid. Get in there, lad. Don't even bally up. You don't have to be foreign, lad, so you don't have to start saying yourself about infections and all that shite, you know. I'm on about British born, mate. Millions. And they don't even get looked at by certain lads because they dress a certain way or they're from a certain part of the world and that should be encouraging you to taste that shit, lad. Have a little taste, kid. Get in there, you never know. What have you been used to, lad? Them little white things off Scotty. Go and float tocky, lad. Shoot down Granby Street. We'll see what the flavour's saying. Some boss birds down that Granby Street down the south end. Any colour. Doesn't fucking matter, mate. Some beautiful girls down the south end of Liverpool. Exotic. Bayesian, Asian, Caucasian. Doesn't matter, like they're all there. All Scousers as well. I'd love to be surrounded by Irish women. Soothe you instantly, don't they? Anyway, let's move on, people, before people start thinking, well, he's really agitated tonight, isn't he?